Dear friends, under the section Suraksha Samvad of the Rashtriya Raksha University, today I will speak on the issue of police image in India. But let me first contextualize. Extreme stress our police forces go through. They work 8 to 10 hours of shift with non-competitive remuneration, no extra time, harsh working environment, and almost no holidays. Low number of police officials in comparison to large populations. More often than officials have too much responsibility and resources are spread too thin. Lack of proper educational qualifications to majority low-level officials, and lack of proper behavioral and interpersonal skills, education and training, lack of proper infrastructure and technological support given to the police forces to deal with the challenges they face, lack of adequate equipment, lack of investment in providing them with the state-of-the-art technology and infrastructure, often under the influence of political powers that they have control over them. At times, police officials ending up becoming just following orders and get blamed for actions that may come from the superiors. Thus, it is essential for us to appreciate and understand the context. If the above are addressed in fast, forward and focused manner, we can see the overnight change. But is it possible? Difficult. Let me tell you why it is difficult. The statistics and data which I am going to speak about are compiled from various sources, including the data on police organizations published by the Ministry of Home Affairs. I would also like to say, before quoting or citing any of the data out of context, please verify the accuracy and the latest updates. But what I am going to base upon is some broad analytical trends which need to be assumed in order to bring out the matter for all the stakeholders. First is the personnel strength. The police in India, like many other public service sectors, works at inadequate percentage of its sanctioned strength, or we can say insufficient of its required capacity. Vacancies in the senior ranks, but also in the constabulary ranks. Let's recognize that neither central or state government, and for that matter any country with similar situations, can afford to have continuous financial liability. One option is privatizing of certain functions, which can reduce the burden on the government, but also industrial and private security markets need to grow and can grow. The second is the training. In-serving training will hugely contribute to the overall self-confidence, courage, skill setup of our police personnel. Training shall become buzz in human resources development in our police organizations. Both in-service training at senior police and constabulary level personnel are important. Certain integrated training for both major verticals, bringing the senior police as well as constabulary level officers together, important and desirable. Training on forensic technology for civil personnel is a demand of the day. Third, the infrastructural and technological facilities. Police stations with wireless devices, access to telephones and IT facilities are essential. Access to vehicles, drinking water in the police stations, proper restrooms, provision for sitting area for the public can significantly aid to the change about perception of police organizations. These are infrastructural drivers for the police image. Availability of CCTNS facility and nearby forensic technology can significantly enhance the efficacy of police operations with regard to the criminal justice system. The fourth is the diversity representation. Ours is a very diverse country, and ensuring representation of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, OBCs, women in the police at officer level ranks will go a long way. The next is autonomous functioning of police. Issues such as quick transfer, external pressures, all take away confidence or commitment of police service. And we must appreciate that this requires a complete change in the culture. Another issue is the average working hours. As I mentioned, our police personnel work at times 14 hours a day, with about 80% police personnel working for more than 8 hours a day. Nearly 1 in 2 personnel work overtime regularly. If such overtime remains unpaid, it brings down the morale, but also the overall abilities of the personnel to serve more friendly. The issue of police housing quarters. Police job requires transfers and availability of decent police housing quarters. The size, the maintenance is a big challenge. Let's appreciate that despite such challenges, our police forces, particularly at constabulary level and even higher, give always their best to the society. Weekly days off is another major pullback factor that works against the overall performance and subsequent image of our forces. Workload does affect everyone's physical and mental health. The relationship with seniors. If senior police personnel ask their juniors to do their household personal jobs, even though they are not meant to do it, there is no way the junior will respect the senior. In fact, orderly is a driving force to dent the image of senior police personnel. The use of bad language by senior officers is another setback for the morale and subsequent impact on the personality and the outlook of our police personnel. Gender parities. Can we ensure that women police personnel are allowed and encouraged much beyond maintaining registers and data tasks and getting into more field-based tasks such as investigation, patrolling, law and order duties? Availability of separate restroom for women at their police station or workplace is an issue. A well-functioning sexual harassment committee can motivate women to join police forces, but also compete with men shoulder to shoulder. Equality of treatment and removal of discrimination vis-a-vis a man is another area which can help the overall image of people towards our police personnel. Police people contact. We need to remove perception such as that the number of crimes reported are lesser than the number of crimes committed in the society. that common people are hesitant to approach the police even when there is a need, that removing perception that family members would not advise their daughters to go along to police station outside their jurisdiction to report a crime, that for minor offences a small punishment should be handed out by the police rather than a legal trial, that dangerous criminals killing is better than a legal trial. Sometimes people may believe that it is justified for the police to be violent to the criminals, or there is nothing wrong in the police beating up criminals to extract confessions. But these are working against the ethos and principles and the professionalism of our police personnel and also the criminal justice system, the police image and the police organization as a whole. Here, the civilians, the enlightened civilians, the civil society as a whole can play a very important, meaningful role in removing these perceptions. Improving police accountability, this can be achieved meaningfully by eliminating the culture of unwarranted arrests, unlawful searches, and custodial issues. By implementing that the political executive's power of superintendence over police force be limited to promoting professional efficiency and ensuring that our police act in accordance with law. By having an independent complaints authority to inquire into cases of police misconduct can also go a long way. Police public relations, citizens-friendly and responsive policing can be also achieved by the community policing model, in which our police work with the community for prevention and detection of crime, maintenance of public order, resolving local conflicts with the objective of providing a better quality of life and sense of security, by police patrolling for non-emergency interactions with the public, actively soliciting requests for service not involving criminal matters, community-based crime prevention, and creating mechanisms for grassroots feedback from the community. Several community models in different parts of the country have started yielding desirable results, and these models are also followed in different countries as well. Thus, more concerted efforts will consolidate the gains which are made by several of our state police organizations. We are talking our standards in line with the global standards, and therefore the United Nations guiding principles on police operations, such as respect and protect human rights, deploy and conduct operations as a component of a multi-dimensional integrated mission, legal basis for operations, cooperation with military counterparts with established limits, recognizing the political context of their work, community-oriented service, criminal intelligence-led service, prioritizing preventative deployments and proactive investigation over reactive law enforcement, target peace spoilers through special operations, and training and awareness programs there too will definitely bring optimum results. Friends, the above certainly sound music to ears, and there are few new things which I have spoken. In fact, whatever I just said is just self-explanatory and known to public, police and authorities. Thus, why the need for such mission of police image? The mission is to prepare an implementation strategy and implementation tool. Rashtriya Raksha University, an academic institution, an institution of national importance of India, working in the domain of police and internal security, together with training academies, institutions of our Central Armed Police Forces, Central Police Organizations and State Police Organization, is committed to enhance the image of our police personnel, and it will work relentlessly to achieve this vital goal for our police organizations. For the public safety and security, we are beholden to each and every individual serving our police establishments, and therefore I am inviting suggestions and ideas of training and awareness programs for all stakeholders to help us and to help yourself contribute to the high standards of professional and personal image of each and every individual serving our police organizations with highest amount of sacrifice, commitment. If you are interested in organizing such programs in your areas, in your institutions, in your localities, in your states, either offline or online, please write to me. The Rashtriya Raksha University School of Internal Security and Police Administration is looking forward to partner with you in this mission of noble cause for our valiant, committed, professional police personnel. Jai Hind.